Hello and welcome to another episode of Glam Care Academy with Nurse Amy. I am so glad for you guys coming on today. So today we're going to talk about branding. What is it about branding? Why is branding so important? Well, branding is something that is important to me, and it should be important to you if you're going into business. So let's talk about some of our usual brands that we know. So I'm going to start with my favorite, which is interesting. I'm saying it well because I love my Netflix. Okay, so when you see that N, what does it remind you of? You see the red N, it reminds you of Netflix, right? So how many of us use Netflix? I'm one of them. Okay, so we do Netflix. Then you have Nike, you have Adidas, you have Puma. Puma has the what's that thing? Is it a cheetah or a leopard? I can't even remember now. But you see Nike, just do it. That's branding. Okay, Coca-Cola. Do you see how they write their logo and all that? Having a logo, having some kind of animation or what have you is part of your branding. Okay. Branding is important because you stand out. There is always competition. Competition is good. Competition keeps prices down. Competition keeps quality up. Competition brings more money, whether you like it or not. It does. Okay, you've got to understand the science of competition. Competition is good. Healthy competition is good. Okay, you don't have to be tearing anybody down to make it. I just think that's negative and you're not going anywhere if you start tearing people down. No, give people information. Teach people how to fish. Okay, it's good to give people fish. I'm gonna give you fish. That's fine. Doesn't cost me anything. That's what people need to understand. Giving people fish, giving people information, that really doesn't cost you anything. If anything, you're building trust. You're building trust. You're building quality. You're building integrity. Okay, so the more you do this, the more people want to trust you, the more people want to it's like you become an authority on something that they want, so that you're the go-to person. They trust you. And I actually experienced this firsthand when I started teaching. So when I teach my students, because I am so invested in what I am doing, I am literally spoon feeding my students. I do. And I build that trust to the point where even when other instructors teach them, they still like, Nurse Amy, this is how Nurse Amy taught it, because it's working. And I wasn't doing it to be paid. I was doing it to, if anything, well, I'm being paid as a nurse, as a CNA instructor, not paid enough, but I'm not looking at the money. I'm looking at, look, these are young minds or hungry minds, hungry hearts coming to me. It's like a blank slate, and I just want to give them as much so they can survive in the nursing world. I want them to survive in the healthcare industry. Does that make sense? So, but in my doing that, in my being so impassioned about it, my integrity is increasing, the trust value is increasing, and people now want to, like, Nurse Amy. In fact, my students put a lot of pressure on me, like, where are your ebooks? Where's your training? Where we want it. So if anything, they are the ones actually pushing me to do these things, which I've always wanted to do, but I don't know. When you work for other people, that's what happens. You just give them your energy, you give them your time, and you don't have anything for yourself. So we're changing that. I even shared with you guys, probably not on this channel, but I think it was a Nurse Amy Academy, where one of my students wanted to show me appreciation. The way to do that was to make a website for me, and all I needed was to get a domain name and just start it. So branding is important because you stand out. Okay, so that's something I'm working on. I have been working on it. I've always liked branding because I'm not the only one who's doing what I'm doing. So what is my brand? What is my brand? Is not only in the logo, in the looks, but what value am I bringing in? I'm bringing value of information. I started a new channel just so that I can bring people along on the journey of entrepreneurship. Ooh, did I just get that word? Yeah, starting a business from either from zero, or making a side hustle. For me right now is making a side hustle into my main hustle. Like, you know what, I can be making more than I'm doing. I believe in different streams of income, multiple streams of income. I have preached it, I've gotten other people into it. Well, it's about time I put my money where my mouth is. So that's what I'm doing. So yes, branding for me. Now you all see my hair. I have blonde hair, just in case you haven't noticed. So that is branding for me. Now, I'm not saying it's going to stay in this knots. Maybe it will. I don't know. But it's something I'm trying out. So I'm growing out my hair and I'm working on something. But the blonde is probably here to stay. So when you see the black lady or the African American lady with the funny accent, because again, that's how people refer to my accent. I don't care. As long as you can understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. So that's branding. That's branding for me. Blonde hair. And for Nurse Amy Academy, I tend to wear blue scrubs, okay? And sometimes I have a white jacket over it, you know, the white coat over it, the lab coat. I do. So that's something I'm kind of working the kinks, but that's been how I started. That's how I started Nurse Amy. And usually when I'm doing clinicals with my students, that's how I'm dressed. So that's how you see me. I have my blue scrubs inside, and then I have my white jacket. So that's the Nurse Amy brand. That's what I'm pushing. So when you see blonde hair, you see white coat, and you see blue scrubs, and it's a lovely blue. I don't even know. I love that blue. I'm not exactly sure what the color of blue is, but go to Nurse Amy Academy or Nurse Amy TV channel and check it out. So that's my branding for Nurse Amy Academy. Now for Glam Care Academy, I'm still working out the kinks. If you have ideas, let me know. But why do we need to brand? You stand out. People easily recognize you. I just went through examples of some branded companies. You know, you see Amazon is a brand. There's a way they like, everybody knows Amazon, okay? Unless you're not on this planet, but everybody's using Amazon, and you see that smile with the arrow. That's branding. That's lovely. Everybody loves that, okay? Nike, just do it. McDonald's, oh my God, those are the kings of branding, okay? You see the double, is it the two N's together or the M? You see that. Sometimes they don't even put their name anymore, you know, not the full McDonald's. You're driving along, and this is something McDonald's does that is so cool. They have found a way to make the M kind of rise above even the buildings around. So even from far, you can see the M. You can, oh, I love branding. You can tell that is McDonald's right there, and you're going to drive to it. Even in the middle of nowhere, you see the M is McDonald's. And this was so gradually done that I didn't even know when that happened. Maybe some of you did. But one time I just realized, I'm like, hey, look. The M is what stands out. It just stands out. They've made it in such a way that the M is higher than the buildings around it. Isn't that just crazy? I love branding. I love to stand out because it's easier for you to market. It's easier for you to be recognized. It's easier for you to make money. When people see the Nike is just that whole, the check sign, right? It's like a check sign, like tick, check sign. So branding is great. So so that's what branding is, and I'm doing my branding. I'm working the kinks, and if you have ideas, let me know. And who knows, and of course I'll give you a shout out. I'll give you credit for helping me out with it. And who knows, we can collaborate and come up with something. You help me, I help you. I am looking for people to help me. I will make use of your services, okay? I'm not saying doing it for free. No, you don't have to. You know, you should know your worth. I know my worth, so know your worth. If you get value, please give me thumbs up, and please be sure to come back. Hit the notification bell, subscribe to the channel. Thank you all so much. Thank you for following me on my social media, Glam Care Academy, on Instagram, Glam Care Academy, on YouTube. Thank you. Take care.